Okay, so in beta thalassemia, there is a lack of beta chain synthesis. And as a result, the patient can produce only red cells with fetal hemoglobin, and they have become very anemic. So to survive, they need transfusion, or some patients are not transfusion dependent, but because we have observed in the bone marrow what we call ineffective erythropoiesis, the patient produced a lot of red cells in the bone marrow, but they died before to be able to go out in the blood. So for this patient, currently the only way to treat this patient is to transfuse them or to use iron chelators, because we know that ineffective erythropoiesis results in iron absorption increase, which lead to organ failure. We have seen that in the bone marrow of this patient, this ineffective erythropoiesis, I mean, these red cells proliferate too much, so we are not able to make fetal hemoglobin. And as a result, you see this expansion of erythroid cells and abnormal erythroid cells, which prevent the production of erythroid cells in which you have the fetal hemoglobin. So this patient experienced a splenomegaly, some extra hematopoietic hematopoiesis, extramedullary hematopoiesis, and we found that this one was due to the production of a new cytokine. The name is GDF11, and GDF11 induces the expansion of erythroid cells, abnormal erythroid cells, because they do not die. It prevents apoptosis of these cells. If you do block GDF11, you induce the cell death of these abnormal erythroid cells, and the normal one can go to the blood and you increase hemoglobin level. GDF11 was a cytokine of the TGF-beta member family. The role was not very known until recently, and in fact it played a critical role in heart development, for example, or in muscle development. In hematopoiesis, now we have shown that it prevents erythroid differentiation, and physiologically its role is to prevent the differentiation of red cells to induce more red cells. But when it's highly produced, you block completely the erythroid differentiation and you cannot produce any more red cells. Okay, we use activin receptors fused to the Fc gamma of the IgG. And this receptor is a trap receptor. It's going to bind TGF-beta member family. And GDF11 bind to the activin receptors. And in fact, at the beginning, this receptor was made to block metastasis and bone lesions in patients with metastasis. And we found that this patient increased their hemoglobin, this patient with cancer. So we tried to understand the mechanism, and we found it was not activin, but GDF11, which bind to this receptor. First, we did animals model to understand and decipher the mechanism of action, and now we present a phase 1-2 study to assess the efficacy of blocking GDF11 and to assess the efficacy to reduce the transfusion burden and to increase hemoglobin level. We found that in patients with beta thalassemia, we could, in non-transfusion dependent patients, increase hemoglobin level, reduce iron overload, and in patients who are transfusion dependent, we can reduce by 50% the transfusion burden, and hopefully, when we will increase the dose of the drugs, we may see some patients who were previously transfusion dependent will become transfusion independent. We didn't see any severe adverse event. Only one patient stopped the trial because of bone pain, which might be due to the activity on the bone marrow and the reduction of red cells. So it was the only major side effect. And in long-time run, because it blocks activin receptor, we may see some endocrine disruption. So we have to look in the long-term run if blocking activin is not associated with problem of fertility, for example. Yes, I think the application might be very large. Why? Because in some other diseases, for example, in myelodysplastic syndrome, which is a cancer of the bone marrow, you have an ineffective erythropoiesis, which might be due to the high level of GDF11 production by erythroid cells. So we can improve anemia in myelodysplastic syndrome. And second of all, in cancer in which you have a production of these cytokines, the cell won't die. And if you block the cytokines, you may induce killing of tumoral cells. To physicians who take care of patients with beta thalassemia, I think for the first time, besides gene therapy, we have a hope to improve the status and increase the overall survival of this patient. This was the main message. And the second message, it's probably these findings may apply to other conditions in which you have effective erythropoiesis. First, myelodysplastic syndrome. We can expect to increase overall survival in these patients.